everybody, and welcome back to the Geek Authority's Talk About section. This is the second show of its kind, and basically it's talking about favorite subjects, no matter what they be. Our first show talked about Space 1999, the TV series, and this one is specifically about Disneyland and Disneyland's California Adventure, the theme park in Southern California, Anaheim, California. Okay, we're moving on to a new section now here with the Talk About Disney on the Geek Authority. It's called Collectibles, and all of us have some fun stuff from Disneyland, California Adventure, or the Disney outlets that are out there now that the pandemic has hit. And so we'd like to show off some goodies for you, and we're going to start with, I believe, Heidi. Heidi, what you got for us?
Okay, so I have a pretty small collection. I'm not really a collector, but they're, like they say, you collect what you love, so there's a few things that just really kind of, light my heart on fire. But I'm going to start off, this isn't necessarily current, but these are my, from my childhood.
Wow.
Love, who I do photo shoots with. And then another Winnie the Pooh from when I was a kid. Okay. So I've got a little bit of Haunted Mansion merch, which this is really current. I think a lot of people probably have these, but they're just absolutely fantastic. They glow in the dark, and they also light up, and I believe Phineas is the one that speaks. And you can't turn it off. Playing cards, hourglass. And then I was really lucky to get in touch with an online sale that was selling signs at very cheap. It was very difficult because there was a lot of people watching, and it was first come, first serve. But I luckily, after trying for a couple sales, I finally got one, and this is from the Rainforest Cafe, I believe in Florida. I can't move it. I taped it down so it doesn't slide forward and behead me. But it's just gorgeous. It's super heavy, but it's absolutely gorgeous, and I just feel so lucky to have it. Poison apples from last year. I had one item that I actually honestly don't know that much about. I got it at a garage sale, and it was in a box. And then I got my car stolen about a month ago, and it was traumatic, but it was also intriguing as to when they recovered it, what was there and what wasn't. So I think it's a collector's item from what I've heard, and it's a Measures fly gun. So if anybody knows anything, I'd love to know more, and I just have to do some research about it. And Jack Skellington, who's also probably very common among us. And I think that's it.
Very cool. Okay, let's talk about it. I think that Jack Skellington behind you, that's a drink container, right?
It's a drink, yeah. I think you can lock him and unlock him on the back. Right now he's locked, so you can kind of hold him, and then you unlock him by pushing that down, and then he opens into a drink.
You beheaded him.
No, I be-chested him.
Okay.
The hourglass, is that from the Haunted Mansion?
Yeah, that was last year. This is also from Haunted Mansion.
Very cool. Okay, Jonathan, you want to go next?
Okay, yeah. So, I do only have two things, but I personally love them. So, I am a sewer first off, just so they're more related to sewing. So, so through being a cast member, I was able to get both these. So this is actually fabric that is used in the parks for some of the costumes. This is used in, I know for sure, Main Street Foods, but I've also heard it's used in Pixar Pier. And possibly, I think it's either Pixar Pier or it's Buena Vista Street. It's one of the two. And then this one I stumbled upon by mistake. So this is actually, if you ever go visit Cinderella, you'll see this on, I believe it's her bodice. Yeah, I thought they were really cool to keep and to hold on to, just because they are kind of Disney history. So yeah, I thought they were really cool and interesting to have and to keep.
Very cool. Now, is that material that you bought or were given, or how'd you find it?
Okay, I think I can talk about this. So there is a store just for cast members. And so things that don't get used in the park sometimes head over there. So the Main Street fabric I actually heard about from a friend at school, because I went to school with a few cast members, and someone said that they had found it and that they found piles of them. They just found like different cut pieces. So I wanted to see if it was true, and I went and I found it. I was so excited. And yeah, so I bought that one, and then the same thing with the Cinderella one. However, when I saw it, I actually didn't know it was a part of Cinderella's dress. I actually thought it was something from Frozen. Just because of the colors. Since it's that very like metallic silver with the light blue, I thought it was more Frozen Elsa themed. So I was like, oh, okay. And then someone went, wait a second, isn't that on Cinderella? And I was like, what? So like since then, like, yeah, I did use some of it, but like after hearing that, I was like, no, this does not go anywhere. This does not get used for anything. This stays the way it is.
Very cool.
Jonathan, when you showed the second fabric, once I looked at it, I'm like, that's Cinderella. And I knew it right away, only because the very first musical I was ever in third grade, I was the Cinderella that turned into the ball gown. And so Cinderella has been a family favorite ever since. My grandma Grace made my big ball gown dress, and I kept it forever until it didn't last more. And so something about Cinderella always pulls to me. And oh my gosh, I went, oh, that has to be Cinderella's fabric. And I'm so glad when you said it, I was like, yay. So
yeah. No, when someone told me, I was like, I have to look it up. And I think I went and saw her in person, and like saw it on her and realized, and like my face just went.
Very
like, yeah, once I realized that, I was like, this does not go anywhere. This does not get used for anything.
Very cool. Michael Macarag, what do you got for us?
Well, at the park, they're selling the porgs. It goes on your shoulder. So this goes underneath your shirt, and then he sits on your shoulder on top of the pad. And then we bought the Mickey hat. It's a keychain. We took off the keychain part, and we put it on top of the porg. And then in Guardians of the Galaxy, they did the same thing with Groot. He sits on your shoulder, and we saw people buy the hat for him as well. So I did it again with the Groot. And I'm a big Princess and the Frog fan, because Tiana is a entrepreneur. So I got the Christmas ornament of her on the balcony of her shop. And I also got the, this is one of the Disney artists. It was sold at Disneyland, and then it was gone for a while, and then I got it at the Disney store. She has her menu there. So.
Very nice.
Wow.
Now, is that porcelain? What is that?
I think it's resin. I thought it was wood, but this is made from the original carving that the artist made.
And he does all the characters, I believe. So.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's jump to Heather.
Okay, Michael, that was beautiful. And I'm
Thanks.
assuming we're going to talk about rides later on, speaking of Tiana, but okay. I didn't know what to do. I'm now unmuted. Michael, what I was saying was, I think that's beautiful, that Tiana, and I hope that means we're going to talk about rides later on. One of my favorite rides. Okay, so I am not a purse person whatsoever. Until a few years ago, well, probably about 5 years ago, and I kept walking by this Loungefly backpack for Star Wars, and I was like, oh, whatever. I don't spend money. I'm like, whatever. And after a year, I'm like, I got to get it. I had compliments. I love it. And I've ended up getting more and more because they're so cute and I can't. So I have my little Donald Duck.
Yeah.
They had a new Daisy, but with my Daisy, with her little wallet. But if I want to feel like Donald, I could do that again. And so I'm very excited about Baby Yoda. I'm not even into evil creatures, but I love the evil queen. She looks so good. But the most unique find for me, looks so cute, was Merida. Because Merida's never, I don't think, promoted enough or fairly enough at the parks. And every time I talk to people, they all agree, like, yeah, we love more Merida, but they don't promote her, and I feel so bad. So I have a suggestion. When we talk about rides, I'm going to promote Merida over at Pixar Park. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. But so those are my bags. Well, and the Peter Pan one. This is a collector's. You had to be on this summer. You had to be on you applied and you said, I'm going into a drawing. You hope your name is drawn and you have the opportunity to buy it. And it's been really hard. This summer, the shopping online has been really tough for collectors, and the doll to go with it. It's a collector's Minnie Mouse Peter Pan edition. But I wanted the headbands of all things, which that was a little weird. But back here, there's, when I went to Europe about 5 years ago, or 6, and I ended up going to England. This is London. The capital of each nation, European nation, has a Disney store that you could get that nation's Mickey or Minnie Mouse, Donald, Daisy, Pluto, Goofy. They got them all. So I made it my quest. So I have a London, Paris, Dublin, and Edinburgh Mickey and Minnie Mouse collection. And to go with him, because I saw Lorenzo sneak, I also have my little Baby Yoda. So I love my Baby Yoda. The child, I know he's the child, but I love the Baby Yoda name. And then of course I have the hats. And I really wish, this was such a fluke. I got my Marie hat, and I'm like, oh, I'll just get it. I'm sure I'll get another one for my niece. And then they're not around anymore. And I wish some of the cutest hats, gosh, I wish they would have them for the next generation or for some of the kids. So I have my Cinderella and my Marie, which are my two favorite little hat ears, my little AP Halloween. And of course, been hiding behind me, I have Mike and Sully popcorn and you can tell Mike has to be hidden behind the ears because he's always hidden when he thinks he's going to get the spotlight. So he's in the back hiding, but he's bulky and big. And I have a wall of ears in my niece's room. My nieces have a room here, and most of this is displayed there. I love this blue, the popcorn ears there. But this was from, help me out, guys. What's the celebration we do in February?
Oh, Lunar New Year?
Lunar. And this is one from Alani. And I had a Snow White bun, but now my spirit animal is Ahsoka. And so all I wanted through the whole COVID was my Ahsoka ears. That's all I wanted for my birthday. And I was just so grateful. I got up in the morning and I was grateful enough to get my Ahsoka collectible ears, and they are my treasure. They are in a case in my bedroom. That's all. I don't have much Disney in my bedroom. I have it everywhere else, but my Ahsoka ears, they are in my bedroom because she is my spirit animal. And then, I think it was and to compliment her are my Star Wars, because at 5 years old, I was in the theaters watching A New Hope, loving Princess Leia and watching Obi-Wan sacrifice himself. And it's all bling bling. It is blinged out. So those are a few of the ears I have. And one of my favorite ride with my favorite picture, and I got a fun frame, was my niece Riley daring for the first time to go down Splash Mountain. And so that's just a keepsake for me, because she swore never to go on it again. But I think we're getting her brave enough to go again, because it's Auntie's favorite ride. And then I've been shopping. I don't know what's in here, but I think Michael, all of a sudden I went, oh, I think I know what's in here, Michael, because your show and tell. It's a little baby Yoda. But the child, but now I need to get a little Mickey hat like you did. That is such a great idea. And I do believe he is a shoulder plush. He's to sit on the shoulder. He should have a magnetic strip. So I do have a Groot, and now I have a little baby Yoda to that. And then of course, I have this, these are being shipped over to friends, but like anytime anybody has a little baby, a baby girl, I always give them little Cinderella or little Snow White little outfits, because I think every baby should feel like a little Disney fun right away. So I do that. And then somebody mentioned the ice cream or something. Oh yeah. Oh, I got the Mickey, but when Minnie came out, because Mickey's easy to get, I'm like, oh. So yes, I did have those big strawberry sundaes at California Adventure, enjoying my prize. So I have a big pin collection, but I think Mike or Rudy are going to take over for the pin collection for me. So that's fantastic. But I have tons of pins that I need to reorganize. Probably about 20 different lanyards that have different themes: Pixar, traditional, rides, my favorite characters. So that changes out for whatever mood I'm in, or the holiday, seasonal ones. But that's just a few things. Yeah, like that.
Very cool. Where did you get the Yoda, the big child thing?
The child shoulder, and I know I was like, what is in this bag? Because I thought I opened up all my Disney boxes already. It was on the Shop Disney during their free shipping opportunity.
Oh,
Let's
okay.
get,
Michael, we have to get that.
Yeah, I want one.
Add to our collection. Okay, let's go down to Rudy and Mike. This should be interesting. Yes.
So, like I had mentioned previously before, all of my Disney memorabilia is at my apartment. And since the pandemic started, I've been quarantining here at Mike's house. So I don't have anything with me except for 4 things. One is the Goofy shirt. It was given to me for my birthday this year. So it was still here, luckily. So that's why I have this here. And then I bought 3 other things during the last couple of months that they're Disney related. As you can see, like from Michael's back here, he collects a lot of Funko Pops. So do I. I have probably over 1,000 or so in my apartment. But I got a couple the last couple of months. One was this one, which is Monterey Jack. I don't know if you can see it well, but so I have the Monterey Jack one, which is Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers is one of my favorite cartoons in the 90s. I just was obsessed with it. Another thing that I got was a friend of mine was selling a bunch of his toys, and I was able to get this. So it's really cool. It's from the Tiki Room. It's Disney Park exclusive. I don't think they sell these anymore. They sold out their first run, so I was able to. He had it, and I was able to grab it. And then the one that just came a couple of days ago, one of my favorite Disney movies, one of my favorite Halloween movies, Hocus Pocus. So there's like a little 3-pack from a bookstore called Books A Million, and they sold the 3-pack. So I was able to snatch that, and I'm really excited about it to add to my collection because I have all the other ones from Hocus Pocus as well. But yeah, that's all I have here. I mean, at home, I like I said, I collect Goofy. He's my favorite character, and I have probably over 500 items. Notepads, stickers, pins, everything. But you know, it's all in my apartment.
Little Mickey jacket that's too hot to be wearing right now, but it's a the little Letterman's jacket. It's kind of cool. This is so old. Just thought I would show it. It actually is like a little bobblehead Mickey that I had probably when I was 5 or 4. Who knows? It's an original from way back in the day. And somehow it still lasted. I'm a huge Haunted Mansion person. My entire house has Haunted Mansion nearly in every room, but of course you need to have the actual heavy set plaque. It's actually really, really heavy. And to go with that, I have some original photos from Larry Dotson of the Haunted Mansion. And I know it kind of is reflective, but he actually signed it to me and told me that, you know, I'll be in the Haunted Mansion soon. It says they're dying to meet you and has CD signed it. And I also had to get one of the ones from Disney World, and he also luckily signed it to me as well, which I thought was pretty great. And since we're on Haunted Mansion, I have quite a few of these snow globes, and this one is very cool all around. It glows in the dark. The actual guys move around in it. And with that too, I've got some more Haunted Mansion things. I went to the 50th evening they had, and they gave out a Madame Leota. It's like a paperweight. It's very cool looking. So that's pretty special to me. I have a vintage, like also paperweights. It's a Disney Mickey on the front, and it has all different sayings from Walt. The first one says, "If you can dream it, you can do it," and it's just little paperweights, but all of his favorite sayings, which I think is kind of cool. And this is very old as well. And since people were bringing up the things with the magnets, I've got ones where you can put it in here and the magnet goes underneath. And you can have the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other. And I probably have about 20 of these snow globes. And I know Disney puts out snow globes now, but they're really tiny, and they're not like these ones that were maybe 10, 15 years ago where they came out with big, huge ones. But like I said, I'm very, very proud of those, but I just brought up this one and that one, and you saw the cat one earlier. And then you saw my pin collection. Did you want me to show it again, or? So most of these are Haunted Mansion, but kind of see, a lot of them are collectibles, and they're from all different parks. But mainly, I'm a big Haunted Mansion collector. I also have a couple sets of the Disney music ones, and I got an extra one that I can actually play. And of course, to go with that is another set of all the different music and booklets in here, showcasing all the different music they put out. And there's probably a lot more that I'm missing, but that's a lot of, I still like 5 or 6 things.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Oh, I forgot this is right in front of me.
Oh.
I love the Country Bear Jamboree, and it's the actual album, and it has like, you know, a whole booklet on it and all that.
Look at Heather.
Yeah. And what's kind of great is, you know, back then Disney came out with these albums that not only had the exact replica of what you saw in the park, but then something kind of extra bonus things on it. So the side 2 has extra things. And this was my other favorite, which was the Haunted Mansion one, where one side of it is obviously what you see on the ride, and the other side was just this whole, different sound effects and different things that I loved as a kid. So, but unfortunately, I don't know where the album cover is. But I have the album still.
So what is that big round thing? What is that exactly?
Oh, this? Yes, I actually love collecting vinyls as well to this day. I just
Vinyl.
got one
Okay, vinyl. Okay.
I just got one in the mail actually last week. So
Yeah, I heard of these things called cassettes and 8-track. Okay, anybody got any questions for that guy? I love the Country Bear Jamboree stuff. I missed that.
I do. Yeah, I was going to ask Mike, the country bear that you brought out that's sitting in front of you, is that a stuffed animal, a statue? What is that?
Stuffed animal.
It's a stuffed animal, okay.
It's a stuffed animal, but what's kind of interesting is it can sit very easily because the bottom is not real soft. The top's pretty soft, but it's very old school where it's pretty hard. But it is a stuffed animal.
Okay, and that lamp. Oh my God! I mean, that's vintage.
I think this says the date on it. It does not, but it's probably I think from the '60s or 70s. It doesn't say, but it's really faded out. It's really old.
Mike, I
I've
feel
always
like
kept
you
it.
need that Mickey Mouse telephone to go with your Mickey Mouse lamp. I mean, that lamp, what a special tribute to your childhood, still having that.
Yeah, I don't let anyone touch it. Like, no, we keep carrying it to everywhere else I move to. Like, I love this lamp.
Yeah, I mean, I got so emotional because that Country Bear Jamboree, that and the Carousel of Progress are two of my favorite memories as a kid. Not my favorite ride, but my favorite memory, which is why every time I go do the Splash Mountain, there's little tributes to that Country Bear Jamboree, and I just get so emotional connecting to my childhood is why I like that. And your snow globes, oh my gosh, they're just delicious. I wish I could find one in a thrift store. All of your snow globes, the Haunted Mansion and the cat, oh my gosh, how fortunate.
Probably the bigger ones. I have, like I said, probably about 20 of them. I just didn't grab all of them. The Haunted Mansion was one of my favorites, but I have some more elaborate ones. Like there's one from the Millennium 2000 where they have every character around the castle, and they had all the different parks from Disney World, and it circles. The characters are holding hands, and they all circle around the globe, and it says 2020 on it. And
how big is it?
It's about this big. It isn't as big as some others, but I have most of the movies, so Cinderella, all those ones, the ones you like. But I noticed it. I just kind of stopped collecting those once they became a much smaller, less intricate version of the ones. But the older ones are really, really intricate.
Yeah, exactly. Like I totally understand. Like the modern ones, I'm like, okay, but what an exquisite special collection you have of those globes. That's just beautiful.
And oddly, the first globe I bought is a non-intrinsic one. It's Ariel. And it was just very small, but it was her with Eric underwater, and it just made sense. I'm like, this is a great one, and that's kind of what started it. Even though it's not very elaborate at all, it's still very well done and made sense.
Yeah, I believe I actually had that, but the water evaporated, so it's now an empty chamber.
Yeah, you have to be careful of even like this one. The water is kind of evaporating, but I've never had them in the sun. I've always been very careful with them, and
it's just nature. It's all physics. Okay, my turn. I'm gonna go quick because I don't know what you will find interesting. Somebody had mentioned pins, and they have a pin collection. I'll just show you. I have 3 bags like this. Of course, I have my favorite Little Mermaid, and just a quick little sneak peek. If you haven't heard, there's a thing called pin collecting. And pin trading. My first page features Ariel and Frozen and so on and so forth. But this book contains, like, I got to be real careful. Some might, fall out or whatever. But 3 bags of these, and I collect. I don't trade. I don't want anyone to take mine. Go away. I got this at, when I believe Star Tours opened and they redid their the Star Tours to promote the new films. This is my, I don't know if you can see him very clearly. Yoda, and
Beware of the dark side. Anger, fear, aggression. The dark side of the Force are there.
I'll do one more. He's got like 7. Where's his button? Here it is.
No, try not. Do or do not. There is no try.
How cool is that? I'm also a fan of plush. And this is Jack Jack from The Incredibles. They've got all the family, but Jack Jack is my favorite. When they were releasing Rise of the Skywalker, is that right? The Rise of Skywalker. These are drinking tubs. The thing will come off. But I'm ripping his head off, and it's an actual cup and holder with the stormtrooper and the straw. You can get all these at the park, or you could. This was one of my favorites, if you guys saw the new movie. He's, what's his name? Dio. And somehow he activates, but he's not working today, so say bye. Okay, also at the parks, in terms of collecting, Michael and I are big popcorn container collectors. And I got to show you my favorite. This one has to be my favorite. Millennium Falcon is cool as well. I also have that, but this is the AT-AT from The Empire Strikes Back. And you're wondering, how do you put popcorn in there? You put it right in there. But I would suggest for those collecting and going to the park, ask for the popcorn separately and treat this like gold, because that's what I do. Nice AT-AT. Okay, and finally, last thing I want to show you. Oh, actually, I got a surprise too. Is this probably my pride and joy since going to Disneyland or Disney World. Galaxy's Edge opened, and I've got my very own, hard to show you, personalized lightsaber from Galaxy's Edge. And it's a beaut because it's a literally, I'll just pull off the top. Ooh, it's turning on as I pull it. But literally, I actually did a Geek Authority show just on putting this together and how it works. And the blade, of course. I don't know if you can see the green. Can you see it? Okay, and lastly, I was going to do this for one of my unboxing shows, but I got a package. I think I know what it is, but I'll open it up because it's something for my scissors. And here, it's something for 2020. They release these every year, usually around the holiday. Ooh, all packed up. Here it is. It's BB Boo 20. They release these little action figures every year, themed to the, it's either Christmas or Halloween. And then I'll show you on the back. They're dated. So these are limited editions. And I believe I got last year's too. Yep, here it is in the box. Really well wrapped. I want to rip the item, but oh, cool. It's the BB-8 for 2019, which I didn't get because it came out late in the year. This is the 2019 edition. You can see it, and of course the back. But these are exclusive to the parks. I'm sure you can get them on eBay or other sources right now, but they make these every year for the parks. So that's all I have, and I did an unboxing, which I never thought I'd do. Outside
I loved how nonchalant Yoda looked. He kind of had a James Bond air about him.
You see his mouth move?
That was cool.
It's
amazing.
The lightsaber lightening up was just like,
Look at the eyes. I love the eyes.
I love it. I love it.
So cool. Very cool. Okay, that was a great show and tell. And I think what I want to do is what they usually generally call a round table. So we just go, quick rapid fire kind of situation. I I'll punch out the questions. I'll answer last, and then just do a quick thing, everybody. Here we go. Which is your favorite park? Disneyland, California Adventure. Those are your choices. Go.
Land.
Disneyland.
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 It depends on my mood, but I'll say Disney. But sometimes it's Pixar on my mood.
Michael?
I agree with Heather. Depends upon my mood, but I think I enjoy Disneyland more because of Star Tours.
I'm Disneyland all the way. Okay, here's a tough one. What is your favorite ride in each park? So one ride in each park. Go.
Mansion and Radiator.
Very cool.
Splash Mountain and Monsters Inc.
Mansion and it's no longer there sadly, but Tower.
Oh, you're not a fan of the Guardians of the Galaxy?
You know what? I when they had said that they were gonna switch it over, I hated the idea just because I really loved Tower of Terror. But when I actually went on the ride, I was like, you know what? You can't hate this. Like they did it justice. So
Personally, I think it's better. I think it's better because of the ride movement. I like the nostalgia of Tower of Terror, but I think Guardians of the Galaxy is much more theatrical.
I agree with you, Lorenzo. Yeah, same thing.
Guys?
At Disneyland, Haunted Mansion, and at California Adventure, Mater's Jamboree.
I love Space Mountain, but I'm going to go with the Haunted Mansion because it just beats it. But I like to do both. And then at California Adventure, I always like the roller coaster. Though I call it California Screamin', I know it's changed, but I love them both.
The Incredibles.
Incredible coaster.
Incredible coaster.
I give a big thumbs up to Monsters Inc. It's my second favorite by just like a slight centimeter. But I love that life-size Sully. That I want to just be like hug and then keep going.
Michael?
Haunted Mansion and the dancing cars.
Oh, Luigi's?
Luigi's cars, yeah.
Oh, Luigi's. Okay, for me, in the park, I have to say it's probably Haunted Mansion, just because I love the detail and it's such a visceral ride as you're going through. Not to mention you go out humming the song, but and for California Adventure, it's a toss-up between I really like what they used to call soaring over California, now is soaring over. Oh no, soaring over. What is it now?
Soaring over
The world.
Soaring over the world. Just because of the technology, the full screen, they spray mist at you and you smell oranges and all that stuff. Followed by what is it called? The Cars ride, the one with Lightning McQueen and you're sitting.
Radiator Springs.
Radiator Springs, yeah, I like that one. I went on and thinking it was going to be another Winnie the Pooh. Boy, was I wrong. Which is my least favorite ride in all the parks is the Winnie the Pooh. I was really disappointed they replaced Country Bear for that. That's another question. Least favorite ride or most uninteresting, however you want to put it.
Okay. Splash Mountain gives me the creeps.
Really? Okay.
I will admit, just aesthetically gives me the creeps.
Heather?
Oh, too soon for me.
Okay.
I mean, I'd almost say I'll go on it, but the teacups, because I get dizzy and I'm just like, I like to enjoy myself. So.
Jonathan?
Finding Nemo.
Oh, yes.
I feel like that ride, when it first opened, it was cool, but now when you go on it, you're kind of just like...
TV set? Underwater?
Like, it's still a cool concept, but I don't know, update it, change it with something, bring back, or extend Autopia, something. I feel like it doesn't need to be there anymore.
Shauna, that's so funny because when I'm on that, I go, I really like 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
Yeah.
and the ride had actual animatronics. Now it's just TV screens underwater.
Yeah.
What's up with that? Anyway, Rudy, Michael.
My least favorite ride is at California Adventure, and it's the Toy Story ride.
Oh,
I don't know what it's actually called.
Oh,
Toy Story
Toy
Mania.
Story Mania. I'm not a fan at all, and I think for me it's just the waiting in line for over an hour. And
Wait. Don't hold the lines. Don't use the lines as a reference, but the actual ride. Are you saying
but
you
the
don't
actual
enjoy it?
ride itself, I'm not a fan of it at all.
Okay. I love
I'm probably also going to get in trouble here because I've never been a big fan of the Tiki Room. As a child, I went into it. It felt like I'd rather go out, run, and go on more rides. It felt like a half an hour of the, and I've come to enjoy it as an adult. But it's not going to be my first ride to ever pick. I'm not the biggest fan, even though I know it's amazing. It just
And it's like a 16-minute show. It's not even a half hour.
And once I've seen it, it's not like almost everything in Disney I could do over and over. I'm not going to probably maintain the excitement watching that over and over during a day.
I think that's the air conditioning room is how I reference it.
Yikes! No,
The
that's
break room.
that was the first ride at Disney and at Disney anything to have the full length animatronics sync to audio. And it's if that ever disappears, that's what Disney wanted first. And if it ever goes away, I'm gonna punch somebody.
I'm pretty nostalgic of it, but yeah.
Michael?
toss up the Pooh ride and the Finding Nemo ride.
Yeah, I'll agree there.
A follow-up question of the Mansion fans, do you prefer the Mansion or the overlay Jack
Both.
Mansion?
Both,
Both, okay.
for me.
Okay.
What about you?
Hands down, the original.
Yeah, I'm an original too.
I'm a huge fan of the movie. I
Yep,
just
me
love
too.
the original so much that it's not dissing anything what they've done. It's fantastic. But I'm a little sad that it's so like half my year is I have to ride that. You know, I wish it was a little less time they kept it that way.
It's only 4 months. It's only 4 months. So you got 8 months of regular.
I love the original too. I mean, it's so hard for me to remember where that darn bullet hole is in the glass. But there's so many, every room. I just love everything about, Madame Leota and the dueling. Just everything. I love it. But I do appreciate the Christmas theme because for my little nieces to introduce it, it was fun for them to see. And I'm a big Zero fan. So it's fun to see Zero and have it more fun to introduce the Haunted Mansion for the little kids. So I like them both, but I'm a traditionalist too. Yeah.
I'm curious. Nobody's mentioned anything in Toontown. What do you think about Roger Rabbit's ride?
I like. Oh, go ahead, Heather.
I
Sorry.
just had gone, probably when it first came out, I was on it. I forgot, but this summer, my brother and his family went on it. And I'm like, oh, I don't know if they're going to like it. And they loved it. And I forgot. Because I'm like, why don't you just update it to a different ride or something? But I get it. Yeah, it was super fun. I'm glad I went on it to remember it. I think it's just, I always go, when you're trying to do as much as you can in one day, it's one of the last things and you're like, it's closed. So.
Hey, I think it's better than Pooh and Finding Nemo.
Oh, well, sure. It's a totally different,
Yes.
You got speed, you got a rush going on. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think the most talked about effect is when Roger pulls that hole out of the wall and you go into that hole.
I still can't figure that out.
Okay, next question is, your favorite show / performance in either park. Now, that's not a ride. That's something that's either scheduled or happens on a regular basis. For example, that could be the town square singers, or Main Street singers, or it could be the fireworks show. So that's how broad the shows are.
Are you including parades too?
Yep, parades too.
Mine are the Scarolers at Downtown Disney. They dress up as the
Scarolers?
Haunted Mansion
Scarolers?
ghosts. They're spectacular. The Scarolers, they sing during the Halloween season. They sing a cappella. It's spectacular.
I've never seen them.
Me neither. Yeah, we got to check that out.
Actually,
I'll send you
like
some
those who are
videos.
dancing. They look like the ones who are dancing in the ride, on the floor. They're dressed like that.
Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, Rudy, Michael?
Yeah. My favorite show,
Or performance?
I'm not really sure. I'd love the Scarlers do that. You bring it up, but I wouldn't have thought of that. I like the magical map when he disappears and pops back in through the thing. It's always cool to me, but I'm not the biggest show person in general, so I have to like pick my brain. Like what shows?
Rudy, anything?
It's no longer their DCA, but the Aladdin stage show was probably like the best thing I have ever seen, ever. Like, I absolutely loved it. And at Disneyland, I've always been a fan of the electric parade, the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Which is now at California Adventure when it runs.
It actually just ran at Disneyland
Last year.
last year. Yeah, last year.
Last year, it closed September 30th.
Yeah. So I was able to see it. I mean, it's different from when it was first around, but I still absolutely love it. The
Me
music
too.
lights me up, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah, even the very intro is just automatically you're just nostalgically brought to where you loved it before, you know.
Oh yeah, I have just an audio tape of the intro that I recorded when I was there, and I just play it, and it just brings all kinds of joy.
Yeah, if you get the score on, it's called Disneyland's Greatest Hits or something like that. It's all on there, the full soundtracks. And I got one little bone I want to say about the whole thing is I remember when they shut down the very first and original Electric Parade, and they were selling the bulbs. I got in a little box, a little collectible. You get one of the bulbs, and now it's been opened like what 3 times now. It's like never coming back, never. Okay, whatever. So it's a marketing thing. Jonathan, what about you? Favorite show?
So I do have to agree with Rudy. Aladdin does forever hold a place in my heart. But I think now just I went to college for theater, and now learning all of like the behind the scenes stuff and seeing Frozen, just seeing how much goes into it. And I also have friends that work on costuming in the show. So hearing everything that they do, it gave me a whole new appreciation for that show, because like there legit is so much that goes into it that I'm sure a lot of people don't even know and realize.
I'm so glad to hear Jonathan say that, because Aladdin was great, but I think it was we needed something fresh, something new. And I love the Frozen. I thought they did a phenomenal job with the water effects, you know, on the everything I thought came together. I feel like people are so upset that they're missing Aladdin. They don't give Frozen a chance, and I love the update. And
Is that your favorite show? Or-
you know what I'm gonna say? Because I mean, of course, Electrical Parade. I think I'm gonna tell you right now. Besides the Jedi show for the little kids, I love the Western gun shootout in Frontierland, in by the saloon, when they're up on the top and they come down. And they kind of mingle with the guests as they're walking by and have a little, you know, sling. I love that little old time, you know, Western saloon show. I like that.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like the Young Jedi show. The kids are hilarious when they try to beat up Darth and Maul.
that's it?
That's it.
Okay. Nothing in California Adventure?
Oh, I thought we picked one. In California Adventure, anything at the theater.
Okay.
I liked Aladdin. I liked Frozen. I can't wait to see what the next show is.
I think we blew Heidi's mind by saying about the shootout in the Frontierland.
No, that
Well,
exists. I thought you meant the gallery. I thought you meant the shooting gallery.
No, it's an actual.
No, it's
back-
in the Golden Horseshoe, right?
Yeah.
Are you
Yep.
talking about the Hillbillies show, or are you talking about something else?
It's on the outside. They start
Okay,
like
no, it's not
mingling.
in the salon. It's on the outside.
Yeah, it's a bunch of actors. You know, I think it's a mom and 2 sons and a bad guy, and they kind of get in it. They interact with the crowd, with a story.
Okay.
My turn. I want to say for California Adventure, it's always been the Hyperion Theater, which is where they do Aladdin and where they do now Frozen. Now, I agree with everybody regarding Aladdin. For me, Aladdin was so special because of the cast. I looked forward to seeing who the genie was and how interactive he was with not only the audience, but the cast, because most of his little riff in the middle of it was ad-lib, and it was just hysterical and funny. and it was timely. He would do presidential jokes. He would do, not just the salt and pepper kind of stuff, but it was actually timely. Flash forward to Frozen, and what I like about there is what Jonathan was saying, the technology. Something as simple as Elsa changing from her dress to her Snow Queen gown to the 40-foot staircase that rotates and spins and then does its own thing. And then the opening of the show comes with this projection of you moving across what looks like the northern Netherlands Icelands until you get till, what's his name? Arendelle. The technology of that show is amazing. Jump to Disneyland. Here's a bit of nostalgia. I probably was the only one on the planet. Do you remember the show called Light Magic? It was a parade and involved Main Street with LEDs and fiber optics. I love the concept. They could have taken that so much further and reorientated with each movie and done so much with it. But for those who don't know, it was a show with fiber optics where as the floats drive by, this Main Street changes with whatever the theme is, both visually and color-wise. And it was amazing. And apparently didn't do well. It lasted one season and went by.
When was this?
Well, what year was that? Anyone remember?
It replaced the Main Street Electrical Parade.
Right, and because they were revamping it. They were revitalizing it. And the idea was to go over to California Adventure. Nobody remembers Light Magic?
I do.
I do.
Okay.
I don't know what year it was.
I may have been in diapers when that was a thing, so.
Wow. Okay, I'll go get my cane now.
Jonathan didn't grow up with the A, B, C, D, or E tickets either, so,
Yeah, I've heard of them. I think I've seen them, behind glass, but I've never held one.
Hey, they just released last year the collector's pin commemorating the anniversary of those tickets. Remember, Michael? We got them?
Yep.
They got the pin with all the tickets on it. So anyway, okay. So nobody remembers my Light Magic.
Yeah. Light Magic was in 1997.
97.
Oh.
Okay.
Ooh, I was definitely in diapers.
Oh my. Okay, here we go. Next question. Favorite food/drink in the park?
Oh.
Okay.
Monte Cristo. Monte Cristo. Best Monte Cristo in the area. They know how to actually make it right. So I'll say that in Orland Square.
Okay.
And mine is the grilled cheese sandwich, tomato soup deal at the Jolly Holiday.
We love that too. It's right across from the Carnation.
So, yeah.
Very cool.
It's fairly interesting that since I've been a pass member since like 1996 or 5, that the food used to be not a priority there. We would leave and walk across the street to eat at McDonald's or anything far superior than anything that was at the park. And then all of a sudden they just amped it. It just seems like now it's like you go there just to eat. So it's hard to pick one because it changes. But who doesn't like the fried chicken? At Plaza Inn is always a favorite, and probably a treat favorite for me. Someone introduced me to just a plain candy apple. I mean, a caramel apple with the peanuts on it. I've had them all my life, but for some reason, nothing tastes like the one from Disneyland. It's fantastic. Are those little chocolate peanut butter squares?
Oh yeah.
Kind of change your life too.
Okay, now we gotta go.
Those are definitely highlights.
But Mike, don't forget, they used to have McDonald's French fries in the park.
Yep. Yeah.
Yeah, that didn't go over well.
Oh, but those were glorious times.
Jonathan, what about you?
So sadly, my absolute favorites, I don't think they have anymore. So I don't know if anyone knew this, but at Carnation Cafe, they had fried pickles and peanut butter and jelly soda. So when I was in high school, I would always go with my friends on the weekends, and we would literally just sit there, hang out, and have fried pickles and peanut butter and jelly soda. But now that that no longer exists, I'd actually say it's probably the lobster nachos from Lamplight Lounge. And it's a hard tie between the Fun Wheel and the Sea Witch, which are both drinks that they don't have on their menu, but they still know how to make.
Wow. Michael?
Oh, geez, there's so much. I love it when we go to the Carnation and get the chicken dinner or chicken lunch. I guess that's my favorite.
Okay. I have to say for Disneyland, the drink is the mint julep non-alcoholic that they have at New Orleans Square. The bread bowls. I'm a big fan of their bread bowls in New Orleans Square. Jump over to California Adventure, and I love the, if you go into Cars Land, there's these cones, and they have these little treats, and there's like chocolate covered this, and any one of those cones has a delight in each one. And for me, those are the treats. And I like to buy things you can't get anywhere else. You know, so if I can't get anywhere else, it's mine. I think you need to, you know, go beyond hamburgers and all the other stuff and get something you can't get anywhere else.
I think I need to give the cones. I tried one of the like a macaroni and cheese cone, and I just didn't like it. And I was so bummed because I heard all about it. So maybe I need to try it one more time with those cones. You're just kind of selling me on it. But when it comes to those bowls, Lorenzo, there's nothing like the lobster macaroni and cheese bowl.
I do the chicken because I'm not a big fish person. So
Where do you get the lobster from?
same place.
The gallery, the what's it called? That little
Harbor Galley, I think.
Harbor Galley. Harbor Galley
Oh.
has a lobster macaroni and cheese. I think you have to ask for it, but yeah, they're really
Pixar Pier?
No, in Disneyland, by across on the river.
Mansion, from the mansion.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It's right next to Jack Skellington's store, what they call it now. Yeah. Okay. Does anyone have a favorite spot or place in either park? For example, one of my favorite spots is, believe it or not, going into the opening gate, because I do like to get that photo op, usually a magic shot of going to the park for the first time. Does anyone have a favorite spot, place?
Mine is Tom Sawyer Island, sitting on the benches. The sound ambiance is just absolutely perfection.
Nice.
It's so soothing and peaceful. Yeah.
Jonathan?
For me, it's actually walking through New Orleans Square. I always just love walking through that area. I've always wanted to go to New Orleans, so like for me, that's the closest, at least for now, I'm gonna get. So I absolutely love walking through there.
Heather?
I might just agree with Jonathan on that. I always do that last because I love just breathing it all in and just taking my time strolling through.
Especially at night when all the lights come on.
Yeah. I just always find that kind of soothing and just relaxing when I go through that area. So maybe the same thing.
Okay. Rudy? Michael? Favorite go-to place?
I think for me, it's probably like where the partner statue is, like right in the center of everything. Just kind of being out there, grabbing some popcorn and just chilling and hanging out and just seeing the crowds. I really like that whole area. But I know it's off subject, but you kind of skipped me in the favorite food part.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Get us hungry, Rudy. Get us hungry.
Yes,
But
please.
my absolute favorite thing to get there are the chimichangas. I'm obsessed with them. I will always get one. Even if it's an hour before dinner, I will get it, and I'll probably sometimes get two.
Rudy,
Okay.
He's also including the breakfast chimichanga. There's that as well.
Yes, the breakfast one is really good too.
and the specials, they have them throughout the year. They'll have seasonal. Because I remember getting one that was like a Maleficent or Evil Queen or something.
Probably. I don't remember. But I know they
Okay.
had others that were similar. But yeah, I love the chimichanga.
I'm feeling so sheltered. I didn't know anything about this. Where's the chimichangas again?
They
They're
have
usually with the turkey legs.
Everywhere. Both parks.
right across from Big Thunder Mountain. There's a stand there. And then right by the partner statue, there's also a cart there that has them.
But okay, because sometimes I want a good chimichanga. So I think when I see it on a fast food, thing, I feel like it's just going to be kind of, but you recommend it. So now I'm excited about it.
Yeah, I absolutely love it.
Oh, okay. That's great. Okay. I'm going to try that. But
Okay, back to favorite spot, Michael?
Probably it's not going to be on anyone's radar, doubtfully, but the recent, as opposed to the long-term standing favorite spot, is behind Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. They redid this little area with water, and if you go stand near there or just sit there, you can look in the water. There's fish in there. They have like all this pumped in noises that are very relaxing. It almost feels like you're not in Disneyland anymore with the crowds or anything. Even if there's 10 million people walking by you, they did a great job just making this tranquil spot behind to the left of it.
Where is what land? Where is this?
It's directly when you exit Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. If you go forward, like you're going to go into Galaxy's Edge, you have to go around the backside where the car.
Where the bridge is. There's a little bridge?
There's a little bridge, and to the left of that, there's like a little pond and everything. But if you sit there long enough, which no one does, there's actually lots of sounds of nature and things there. It's very relaxing.
Right by the old smoking section, right?
It's near there, but I'm not fond of that area.
Oh, well, yeah. It's pretty without the smoking.
That does remind me, that's close to another spot I love to stand, because for some reason I really like watching Fantasmic as they're loading, so I like standing right there where you can see everybody load and they're still in the dark. Like, that's my favorite part, and they'll wave at you and you wave at them. It's cool. It's just right next to that mic spot.
Okay, Michael?
On Main Street, there's a porch where you can sit and rest. I like to people watch, and when I was in college, I took an elective called Games People Play, and one of our essays we had to write what we observed people playing. So I wrote my essay from that point of view.
How do you get that chair? That porch is always taken, so I've never experienced it.
Michael brings his cane and he pushes Okay, how about your favorite season at Disneyland or California Adventure? Do you like it summer? Do you like it when it goes Halloween? Do you like it when it does Christmas? Those are pretty much the three that it really dresses up the park. Oh, there is one more. In the beginning of the year, California Adventure does the Chinese celebration. So that's another one.
I like it when it's overcast and cool.
That's not a season, though.
My favorite time of the year. Yeah, that's so hard. I love Christmas. I love it. But for some reason, I feel like it's so festive for the Halloween season. So
for me, it's Halloween.
I also agree with that. It's fall for me, and not just because I'm not as going as often as I like to during the Christmas season, because I find it a little more busy, and I don't go as often. I go in January a little more than I do in December. But I've always liked the fall, even 20 years ago when it wasn't that busy at Christmas either. I still just prefer the fall.
Very cool.
I'm actually going to counter a lot of what you guys are saying, only just because, so during Halloween time, I don't ever really get to experience it all that much because I work at a haunted house. So for me, I actually really love Christmas. Christmas is honestly the only time where I will actually prefer to work the late afternoon into night shifts, just because I love watching the Christmas fireworks show and I love seeing the parade. For me, just seeing that's one of the more memorable things for me when I'm working, is just seeing all of the families out like on Main Street during the snow and watching all of them play in the snow and get excited. So for me, that's one of the ultimate reasons why I love the Christmas season.
And by snow, you mean soap suds, right?
Yes. That's definitely one of the funny things, is when the kids open their mouths or stick out their tongues and they're like, I want the snow, and then it hits their tongue and they're like,
But if we're mentioning snow, can we put a request in to bring back the Arendelle ice area in California Adventure? Because that was magical to me.
Yes, it was. I remember that. Yeah. Oh my God. And you could go with the sledding. They had the sledding thing, the little sledding hill.
So magical. Yeah.
Yeah. And I agree with Jonathan. I absolutely love Christmas time at Disneyland. And the parade, to me, the Christmas parade, Christmas Fantasy Parade, I love it. I love hearing the music. I love seeing the toy soldiers and the gingerbread walking down the street, and it's magical to me. It's one of the best experiences.
Wow. How does everyone feel about downtown Disney?
I think it's actually improving, but
Yeah.
I wasn't that fond of it in the beginning. It seemed to have like some retail shops and things that I wasn't interested in. I don't think I would ever go to the movie theater when I'm that close to two big major parks, you know. But I do think that I've noticed I have gone there now a little more for some of the food, and they're improving it, and it seems a little more festive, a little more people hanging out there. So hopefully
Okay.
that track.
A little bit more Disney, because now at least there's a Disney home store and there's a Disney dress shop. Like before, I felt like I didn't want to walk all the way across back and forth, except for Earl of Sandwich. That was worth it. But but beyond that, it just wasn't worth to go all the way back and forth. So I just kind of stayed at the World of Disney. But now there's like getting more and more themed shops that I'm, like you said, I'm more interested in. So I'm like, okay, because after you walk this, you know, so much, you don't want to do the extra walking unless it's really worth it. And it's like, yeah, it's like, oh, okay. Unless you're going.
Cool.
Yeah, I prefer it Saturday night with all the entertainers and such. It's a lot more, I think, a lot more alive.
You mean the street performers?
Yeah, the street performers.
Okay. Okay. Well, I want to do one more quick fast round, but I want to talk about very topical subjects regarding Disneyland and California Adventure. And everybody has an opinion on all of these. So again, I'll bring up the topic and then everybody jump in or whatever they want to say. Let's talk about ticket prices, both one-time and annual passes.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't even remember what the prices are, just because I haven't had to worry about it over the last 5 years. So
Well,
I know.
before they closed, it was $129 for adults.
Oof.
I actually think this is a great subject because a lot of people give me flack, like, why do you go to Disneyland so much? It's so expensive and blah, blah. And I think any one of us who go know what we're spending, and if once it becomes where it's not worth the money I'm putting into it, I'll stop going. But I think it's a premium park. I don't like to hear people complain about sometimes the pricing of it when you are. Every time I go there, there's something new, there's something different. They're improving things, putting stuff into their food, or I never see them just relaxing and feeling like they're just taking my money. I feel like they're doing something with it. And I feel like I'm going to a park that is premium and is a privilege, and therefore I'm paying a higher price for it.
I don't mind, like the AP, I think they do push a bigger jump sometimes, but I'll chime in. I don't mind as an AP. That's fine. That is my relaxing escape entertainment. All my funds go to my AP payment. If you say we'll just do take away the payment plan, I think we're dealing with a very exclusive, affluent neighborhoods in the area, not people like me who could afford the one-time payment.
And for people watching who don't know, AP is annual pass holder, and it was only in the last 2 or 3 years that they opened it up to, instead of paying one fee at one time, allow payment plans, because a lot of people just couldn't afford the $1,100 right off the bat.
Yeah, I mean, they jumped at $150. They had pretty big jumps, for the year. And I don't mind paying that. I mean, I'll do it, but they're kind of pushing the limits of my budget, but I'll do it. What I feel bad about is the people coming from Colorado and spending so much money on one day for a family or the 2 days. And because I think it's worth it because I can go back and do another ride. But these guys are going to spend 3 hours in a line for cars, the Radiator Springs, or, I feel bad for them because the stress of not maybe enjoying the day, because it is so expensive for a family, an average family to go. So
and I want to counter what Michael had said about the fact that it's a privilege kind of thing. I agree to a point, but I don't think Disneyland, Walt Disney ever intended the park to be unattainable for people who just can't afford it. I think we're going into elitism, and the fact that they're banking on the Disney brand and the name. And if you're poor, basically they're saying, screw you. And yeah, they do giveaways and, charity things and all that other stuff. But the bottom line is, I think they're just trying to control attendance, because the more you charge, the less they're going to go because you can't afford it. So like Heather was saying, and I think there's going to be, like she said in her last statement, Heather, that there's going to be a point where people just can't afford it. Even the annual pass holders paying so much a month. I think they're going to price themselves out of the market in terms of theme parks, which will just be good for, Magic Mountain and Universal and all the other ones. But annual passes now are around $1,200 for the year. Daily ticket prices are $129 for one adult. I think they're like 90 something for kids and then free for anybody under 4. So like she said, if you had a family of 4, you're spending, $600 just to go through the gates. That doesn't include food and, drink and, any other things, souvenirs. It's just, my opinion is, I think they're going to price themselves to the elite.
But it also seems like they are a business, and people forget that. You just get caught into the fact that it's Disney, and they're there for me, and they were for my kid when I was a child, and they are a business, and they do have a great product, and they are selling their product, and I think it's okay for them to do that. I'm not condoning or saying that they're not expensive. It is expensive. I would prefer to pay less if I could, of course. But I'm just saying is that they're also putting out, like their last ride, how many millions of dollars did that ride cost? Because we as consumers demand that. We keep wanting better, expensive rides, and it's going to cost us money. Radiator Springs changed everything. Before that happened, cast members could bring in lots of guests and different things that Disney just kind of tramped down on everybody, and then the prices went soaring a couple $100 every single year, and it was all from those expensive rides. So you kind of have to pay for something if you want something that's that good. And I think all of us have been saying how much we love this park and how it's worth the money we're spending it. But I do agree that if they go too far there, it's going to even lose myself, going to lose some people here. And it is what it is.
I mean, they're going for profit. I don't think they're not always, we have to pay for the improvement. We are paying for improvement. Like I said, I don't mind that. But there was a press release statement a few years ago. It was some lady from Disney saying, yeah, we're changing our strategy. Before we're doing, middle families, now we're going more affluent, the people who could afford it. And that was in print. And I kind of went, yeah, I see that you're doing that. You're going for the affluent who are going to be able to afford the full payment. And they don't always make the improvements. I mean, they've taken away the photographers in the Princess experience where families now have to do their cell phone and nobody's there. They're taking back photographers, and there's such a flood of complaints from families and even CMs going, we need that. And Disney just didn't care. They're like, nope, that's where we're cutting budget. And we're like, but we need I'm like, I'm an auntie, and I would like somebody to take a nice picture. That's the one that's going to be framed, and they don't offer that service anymore. So, and they don't listen to customers who would like to have some of that back. So yes, they make improvements, absolutely, but it's not, they're making a big profit too.
Well, the other thing is you don't realize the ticket prices don't pay for the park. Disney's a huge corporation, and its main bread and butter is the production side, animation, TV, movies, and that kind of thing. So the fact that they made a decision to spend $2 billion on a literally failed project, i.e. Galaxy's Edge, in 2 parks, was not a business-wise decision that they made. And to make the consumers pay for it because it was so bad. And what I'm getting at is they're focusing the money in the wrong places. Instead of, I think if Walt were alive and he walked into Galaxy's Edge, he'd go, where is the Disney experience? Where are the characters? Where's the music? Where's the entertainment? Star Wars has 13 films and 9 television series and music, for decades. And you walk into Galaxy's Edge and it's nothing. Sure, you get shocked by the life-size Millennium Falcon. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. The ride needs much to be desired. Star Tours is better. But my point is, I think they're trying to make up for their mistakes. And instead of rolling back and saying, listen, how come we did this wrong? How can we fix this? They're just yanking the prices up. And it's like, we suffer because of their mistakes. Like she said, she's losing her photographer. The staffing has dropped, a lot, and it's like, how can you raise prices and bring the crew down? I just feel the wrong people are in charge of the park. And I don't know if you've heard about Disney's, future, but they're rethinking the Star Wars universe. They're rethinking the Marvel universe. Kathleen Kennedy's gotten the boot. Bob Iger's leaving. So there's a lot of the wrong bean counters are running the place, and it's who's going to be affected is us. I'm not going to pay $2,000 for an annual pass. And again, if Disney were alive, it was intended for families and kids. Well, now you're going to have to be that 1% to who goes to the park, and I don't think that's right, in my opinion. So that's
it's
my.
a hard fix. I think it's a hard balance, to juggle. So, but I mean, I'm with you on that. But I do have a suggestion for a ride before we leave.
Who doesn't? Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on the prices or annual passes?